I did not make any more footage on my phone with the extras, but I did make some VR footage of like behind the scenes of what we were doing. I'm gonna try to find a way to put that in this video, but I don't think I can because it was filmed on the Sphere. And the Sphere transfers video to the Samsung Galaxy S6, and there's no way to get it to my phone. That would be cool. It's not gonna happen because Samsung hates Apple. They hate it. That said, however, I promised that there would be a rant/recap at the end of the day as part of my, so I decided to do one video that was just random clips of the day. I decided to do one video that was a narration of the day, and then this is the video at the end that's the recap of the day, where I just talk to you about my day at VidCon. So this is 3 different formats that came to mind and seemed like I could do them simultaneously, whereas some other formats like Casey Neistat or Shondora's style, I couldn't do simultaneously with either of those other things. But I can do all 3 of these in one day. So tomorrow we'll take on another style where we invite other people into the videos, but today is what we're doing. So here's my rant about how my day was. First, I'm gonna get comfy. Okay, true confessions. I started waiting until it's light outside. Start recording this. I have been doing the spherical situation. That pointy is hard. All night. Like working on it, making sure I'm exporting videos, making sure I've got videos, etc. and so on. Can we turn off auto lock? That would be great. And what can I say? Got distracted. Let's make a monologue now. So VidCon was good. I went to a ton of events. I got to meet some new people and make new friends. I got to try out the 360, the Samsung Gear 360. I got to go to the best party of all of VidCon, and today was just perfect in every way. I learned some things. I learned that while the sneaking in I did like at the beginning of the week and like meeting and hanging out with people was really fun and like gave me a good base of like people that I knew, given that I knew no one. I at least like had people to say hi to at these events and ways to get into these events. So that was good. And it got me involved with a couple different people right away. However, made it really tricky to build relationships. So like meeting people at parties is a much more fun way, much easier way, much lower pressure way to make friends than random occurrences during the middle of the day. And I know it seems obvious now that I've said it, but you know, when you're in the thick of things, not so obvious, and I hadn't really talked about it, so I hadn't really thought through it. Anyway, know that now, and we'll be able to react accordingly next time I have to do this sort of thing. I think if you ever end up going to VidCon, or if you're watching this because you're interested in how to make the most of VidCon, what I would say is don't be afraid to go up and talk to people, but do so in a way that is fun, because no one is going to stop the fun person. Like, if you're having fun, you're making other people's days better by going up to them. Like, you're a blessing to other people. Whereas if you're nervous or you want to ask them something specific, or honestly you want to be fun until they start asking you questions. So just be fun. Just be fun. The way to make friends is to make other people laugh until they start asking you questions about who you are and what you're here doing, and then you can fill them in, and then you can ask them. But until then, not worth it. So that, I think, was the biggest takeaway from today. And I know all of that seems obvious intellectually, like when you say it, but acting that out in real life is much, much more difficult, especially in a high-pressure social situation, like where YouTubers are getting treated like rock stars. So those are my thoughts on the day. I think it was overall a really, really good, really fun day. But I just, I don't know, I wish there had been opportunities like there were today all week long. Like, if there had been parties like this going on, I wouldn't have had to do what I did the first 2 days, which was essentially sneak around and go places that I shouldn't have been. So I'm sure that put people a little on edge and may have been unnecessary, but it definitely, like, because I came here knowing no one, it taught me some early lessons. It got me talking to people, and it made it so that when I did meet people in the right way later in the week, I was like, I had tested my pitch a couple of times. I knew what I was talking about, who I was talking to, why, and I could really like make things happen. So when I ran into 5 college-age YouTubers who were all awesome and who I will feature in my 360 video from tonight. By the way, I made 5 or 6 videos today. So I made the 2 that we talked about, the test videos, and then I made 1 VR video that's just about what VR should be about. And then I made a VR video of the party experience, and then I also made a quick behind-the-scenes video of some of the 360 things using my phone. Is that 6? Yeah, counting this one, that's 6. So 6 videos today. That's crazy. Without trying either. Like, there were just 6 interesting sets of things that happened today. So that's cool. People have been asking me all day, what are your videos about? I've been telling them everything. And that's what I mean. Like, there were 6 different things that I had to make videos about in different ways today. And this 1,000 videos project is so much fun and such good practice. So anyway, I'm glad I got to test my pitch. I'm glad I've refined what I'm talking about. With every conference, the way you want to approach people, especially different conferences, is different. And you got to test it out the first couple days and get your mojo and try to figure out what your pitch is and how you're telling people about yourself this time around. I also got new cards, which is fun. Business cards I'm handing out, I really love. They're very informational. Business cards is kind of an art too. Like, my business cards this time around have a name, a title that's like entrepreneur, creative, publisher, something like that. No, entrepreneur, photographer, creative. And then it lists my 3 projects: 1,000 videos in a year, sending YouTubers to study abroad, and aerial photography. And then it has my email, my website, and my account names on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Medium, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. I already said Facebook. Yeah, but it just has those icons and then the little @Steve Moraco. So that's my business card now. I don't know how we got into talking about my business card. The day overall was phenomenal. The best part was being at a party with just everyone. Like, literally the most famous people on the entire internet were all at that party. Like Jenna Marbles, Connor Franta, Phil DeFranco. They were all just hanging out. It was really, really cool. So it was a great time. And I made a lot of new friends there. And I didn't talk to any of those people specifically because they were all swamped. And I've heard that it might be better to meet them in a different situation. I'm sure I will get that opportunity because now I'm friends with all their friends. So, pretty fun night. The advice that I've gotten at previous conferences and in other contexts is, in situations where you're networking, the goal is not to make a specific impression or to really, make a big deal out of meeting people, but to really just not make a bad impression. And I'm worried that at several points earlier this week I did make a bad impression because I was in a hurry, or I was super keen, or I was overexcited, and I was meeting YouTubers for the first time in my entire life. And I knew that I wanted long-term friendships out of it, and I tried to handle it as calmly and coolly as possible. There were still things I could have done better. Yeah, I just wish I'd gotten the chance to ask people what their challenges are, what they're working on, what they're here at VidCon for, earlier on, before I tried to explain myself to people. And even asking those questions before that, meet them in a fun way, like make jokes, high five, poke fun at mutual friends, that sort of thing. Like, that's a much easier way to get to know someone when you haven't ever met them before. And it's strange that, like, formal business deals, intellectually, even the really good ones, the, like, great ideas, don't happen if you don't establish that sort of, like, fun personal vibe first. And the fun personal vibe goes a long way toward making business things, even the business things that shouldn't happen. So a lot of the business deals in the world are the result of people's friends, influencing the decisions they make in ways that I'm not sure I completely agree should be done. But that is the way the world works. So, I don't know, even at 24, I feel like I'm still learning stupid things. But I'm doing so in a way where, like, I'm trying to make frameworks out of these things. I'm trying to make valuable, like, simple, easy to think about tools that I can take with me from experience to experience, instead of just like, oh, all my life experience has taught me this and I can't really explain it in detail. Like, with each of these frameworks I can explain the problem in detail, and I think that's handy. Okay, that got really nerdy. I think I'm going to end the rant here. Today was really fun. I'm glad I got to do it. I'm glad I got to show you in 2 different ways. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to click subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.